Oh, internet, you have come to the right place if you want to find out what is the best modular set.
Well, standout modular set.
Oh my goodness, I broke our own rule, Corey. Oh,
That's right. And what rule is this for? Why, it's for our 10 episode series of Standout Cards and Cycle 1 award show brought to you by Bad Publicity. So there you go. See, I brought us back around.
that is
Um,
right. Oh man, we're just talking about getting the record fatigue, but look at that. Where one falls, the other picks it up. A true ally, a true double team.
that's right.
Guys, we are talking about Marvel Champions, and maybe some of you got this for Christmas, and maybe some of you have a great, partner there that kind of have caught you full up to the cycle, and you were just sitting there wondering, man, what modular set should I play? Which one stands out to guys that I don't know personally on the internet? I must Google this right now, and this video came up, and we'll tell you.
What are the odds that someone recorded a video on this very question
Oh my
and they gave an
goodness.
award out?
Oh
It's
my
so
goodness.
wild.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
All right. So the best standout to us, in case you haven't been following along, is not the hardest, is not the best, is not the must have, must play, kind of all that stuff. Is this just did something that stuck out to us that we thought was amazingly cool, that created a great experience. And because of the replayability of this game against multiple heroes, this is one that we would play again over and over and over, and we endorse it as a standout modular set for Cycle 1. Corey, walk us through
That's
some
right.
thought processes on this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and just to go through, some of you might be newer and tuned this in or tuned into this. The module sets are those that give you that variety in your villain encounters. So while you and me both may play against Rhino, you may play with Rhino with some different modules that'll give you a different experience as you play through his treachery deck, and uncover stuff as you go out throughout the game. So the modules give you a lot of variety, and not only adjusting the difficulty, but adding some unique spins, like who's the other side villain giving you problems outside, or who's joining forces with this villain to really like make life uncomfortable for the heroes. So the modules add a really cool layer of design flexibility to
Yeah,
Marvel Champions.
professionals like myself in the business, we call that replayability.
Oh, nice. Well done.
That's what
Well
we
done.
that's what we call
Key
that, Corey.
key term alert.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, keyword,
Anyway,
keyword.
so the thought process went in for us picking our outstanding is ones that like as Jameson said, wasn't necessarily like the hardest, most difficult, pound your head up against a brick wall. It's ones that added like unique spins to the game, or made you created an interesting puzzle that made you have to really think, or did something that felt so different from the previous modules we saw come out throughout the cycle.
So right away, you've heard us say that it's not the most difficult. So we can get this out the way now, that we're not talking about the Doomsday Chair.
Correct. Doomsday Chair did not make it.
No,
And as mentioned way earlier in the episodes, the print and play was also not in consideration for the award.
right. Which hats off to that print and play version. That if you haven't tried it yet, go print it and play it, because it is a fun scenario. But we're not considering that because it's not as easier to get if you're not really like picking the game up, or buying it from a store to kind of shuffle in. Some people like to keep the card backs all nice and stuff like that. So this is just for people that, we're talking about the stuff that was kind of, I don't even know how to say, it's not officially released, but it kind of like, buy it from your game store
Right.
scenario. So
Cool.
that does limit the pool again. All right. Like we're kind of talking modular sets. We are talking modular sets, but that means we're basically looking at what came out in the core and what came out inside of Goblin, because we all know the Wrecking Crew was not a modular experience. Now, the thought pattern for this is right away, we already said it's not the Doomsday Chair. And the experience of the core set, although variety, it is pretty, it's going to be kind of vanilla. It's going to be that kind of style. So our pick is not inside of core set. If it was inside of core set, we would lose all credibility as a standout. There's reasons.
Shots fired.
Yeah, I mean, hey, there's reasons that those scenarios were there inside of core set is to take a player and guide them through the various layers to hold them up in difficulty as you learn and play the game. Right?
Yep. Agreed.
A core set is not there to punch you in the face and say, I hate this game. Put it on the shelf, never going to play again, right? So
that's right.
It's not,
this isn't an Antoine Bauza game.
No.
Right? Sorry, that reference is just for you. There's you out there. You got it. You understand. You're welcome.
So, Corey, that leads us into one of our, we've said it before, must pick up packs because of the replayability. You can get into that, and that is the Green Goblin. And what was offered inside the Green Goblin is a beautiful set for you, assortment of different sets that you can play against and customize your game to go. But one of them kind of stood head and shoulders above the rest of them. And what is that, Corey? Talk us through that part, man.
Well, let's get to the winner then, and we'll break down the set. So, Bad Publicity's choice for Standout module in Cycle 1 goes to Running Interference.
Oh.
I know. So yeah,
I thought we were talked about shortening that. Were you gonna, instead of saying Bad Publicity Standout, I thought you were just gonna be like, BPSM.
Have like a big thing that goes across the screen.
I am one, right? Like
yeah. So let's kind of break down like why this set.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah. So the big thing for this is that I felt like what this set does is it really changes the way you play. And it did something we hadn't seen in the game before, where it actually interacted directly with identity cards. And it prevented you from playing the game or interacting with the game like you normally would, like preventing you from being able to change your different, the change forms when you're in your ID if you didn't get rid of this card, or putting a card on your identity that you could only get rid of if you were on the alter ego side of your hero. But if you didn't go get rid of it, the penalty was you were just doubling up on like when revealed effects off treachery cards. So it was creating these really interesting wrinkles within your turn structure of things you have to deal with. And it was cool because it has this whole, like the whole theme of this, like they're trying to find out who you are as the hero, or messing with, your life and making it difficult. So you can't just go be like the guy and save the day. You've got other things you've got to deal with. And I just thought it was just really cool how it is. And it did, as perfectly titled Running Interference, is the whole set was cards that pretty much got in your way and prevented you from, doing probably what you actually wanted to do on your turn, with some sort of little roadblock that you had to puzzle out and figure out how to bypass and get around. So
yeah, this was definitely, I would say, the hardest set inside of the modular sets that were included with Goblin. Tombstone was probably, again, the hardest and strongest villain to go up against. When you look at what he actually did and the speed bumps that he created in your gameplay. And for everything that Corey has talked about, is all the right reasons that this set stood out to us, because of the mechanics that were introduced and, the level of difficulty and the challenges and the choices that players were forced to deal with at that time. it just created a very, very, fun, different experience that, I felt, it wasn't something that you could just be like, it wasn't a card that when it came up, you were just like, I knew right away what to do. Boom, do this. Boom. Okay. I have to do this. Oh, here comes, here comes something with like a boost ability. Oh, this when revealed, I just have to discard this stuff off. He kind of here attach this to the hero, or sorry, the villain does this attack, whatever. All those general ones. This was something that I had to actually, when these cards came up, pause and think about how I'm going to have to deal with it in this moment. Again, our theme here is, creating decision points and break off points in the game for the player to react to. Doing this. How are you going to handle and adjust to this, challenge that was just, put in front of you.
Right. And as we've mentioned in other videos too, we really enjoy cards and sets that let the player play the game, and gives you interesting decisions. And since a lot of these like attached cards go to you, the player, directly to deal with, instead of all of them being the table, it then creates, you have to then work with everyone to figure out like, hey guys, I've got to shake this and get this off of me. This is how I'm going to go about it. Is that fine? Can that work? And it creates, it builds more of those like collaborative experiences and stuff like that at the table. It's just really cool.
Right. Yeah. Corey, it's just not like another minion that's getting flipped out of the set. And it's like, if someone's like, I can handle that attack, or don't worry, I'll fight that minion off you next round. You do this, and we keep going. It was very much, creating a different experience for the player. Loved it. Great design. Thank you very much. Runner interference. If you slept on this one and haven't played with it enough, go back and look at it. Put it into other games and see what it's doing. And again, it's not like it's not the hardest one. It's not like a slap in your face, like the amount of surges that are coming out of the Doomsday chair, right? It's not. Right. It's not something that's going to be, ridiculously difficult, scaling things to the extreme. This is something that just forces you to react and make game decision choices. And that's what we love about creating the experience.
Agreed.
Create experience. Forcing the player to make decisions creates a good experience. That's what it comes down to for us.
Yep, absolutely. And as you mentioned, it's not like the heaviest hitting. Like, it's actually very pip light compared to some of the other modules, where the difficulty that it gives you is what the cards do to you as a team. And as it all goes back to more decision making and figuring out how to get around them. So it's fun. Highly recommend it. Mix it in. If you've not played with it yet, give it a whirl. You'll find it in the Green Goblin pack, which is already a pack you should pick up anyway. So
definitely,
go for it.
Definitely. Thank you very much, guys. We want to hear about your experiences with running interference. We want to hear about your thoughts about the best modular set, from the scope and cycle that we're dealing with. If you've had some fun and good times with other ones, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for tuning in.
Oh, well, that's right. And, it wouldn't be the end of an award episode if I didn't give you a little information on what's coming up next. So we have 2 episodes left in our 10-part series. And episode 9 is all about the choice of our standout nemesis.
Ooh.
We're getting there. We're almost to the end, folks. So thank you for tuning in and watching with us.
Who could it be?
Who could it be?
Thank you very much. If you've made it this far, might as well like and subscribe before you click away. And we appreciate it. We really do. I don't think any other webcast appreciates it as much as we appreciate it. We look at it daily, hit refresh, see who's looking, see who's liking. Thank you guys. Have a great one. Enjoy your holiday season and enjoy running interference because it's very enjoyable. And Corey's running, and I'm going to stop it and interfere with that running.